Okay, the tip I'm going to share with you today, this is number 5 of 25 of tips and techniques to help with PTSD, stress, depression, anything like that. I'm going to talk about mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Looking at mindfulness, that is the ability to put your full mind, energies, and efforts in the current moment to focus on a specific variable or aspect, and to allow any distractors from the outside world to stay out so you can focus on the moment in hand. And I'm going to talk about two tools you can use for mindfulness. One is going to be a tool that you can implement at the moment you are feeling like a PTSD trigger, a high level of emotional stress. And then I'm going to talk about mindfulness as a preventive measure that you need to incorporate in your life to improve your overall mental state. Science shows that it works because there's studies that have conducted MRIs on the brain to look at the gray matter, the decrease in the growth of the gray matter, which has a lot to do with cognition and emotions. And those that have been in a mindfulness program, they've seen how, for example, the amygdala, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a portion of the brain that does the fight or flight, or the irrational reaction to events around you. It is shown that mindfulness decreases the gray matter of that portion of the brain, which then decreases the brain's ability to automatically have high levels of stress during a hostile moment. And then it also shows that mindfulness helps with memory, it helps with cognition, and this is through the MRIs where they see the growth of the gray matter in the brain assisting. And when you have more creative thinking and cognitive strength, you are better well equipped to overcome emotions when they arise, and you need the tools to combat them. So mindfulness, what is that? So forcing yourself to be in the now, and I'm going to talk about a tool you implement once the fire started and you need to put that out, and then what you need to do daily as a preventive measure. So looking first, RAIN. RAIN is a good acronym. This was developed by a bunch of Buddhists. Was it 1927 or 72? I can't remember. I'll get it mixed up. But these Buddhists came up with a way to deal, an acronym to remember once that stress moment triggers. If you have PTSD and a memory pops in your head that is causing that level of stress and anxiety, this is what you implement to be able to kind of throw some little bit of water and hopefully kind of completely put out that fire. So RAIN. So the first step is recognize. You recognize what is that emotion? What is it that's causing the that feeling right now? Is it a previous event? Is it a previous action? Is it a death in a family? What is causing those problems? And then the A is acknowledge. Simply acknowledge the fact that there's nothing you can do about it. This emotion is going to enter your brain no matter what. Whatever event created that emotion, that is how it is. It's nothing about you. There's nothing you can do about it. Do not dwell on the past. All you can do is dwell on the future and see, how can I grow from this instance? This happened to me. It's not going to change. It happened already. Focus on, how can I grow from this? How can I get stronger? I'm going to become a better and stronger person because of it. Acknowledge that you can't change it. RAIN, investigate. Really start to investigate and look into that emotion and tear it apart and focus on not so much why it happened, but really what can I do to lessen the feelings? Do I have to eliminate some variable, some like alcohol, drugs? Do I need to eliminate something out of my life? What is it about this emotion? How can I really improve the aspect of the emotion? And that's the investigate. And then the N is non-identification. Don't identify this emotion as the person you are. Use emotion like, hey, that's who I am. There's nothing I can change about it. I'm 100% this negative person. No. Deep inside you, there is positivity and there is goodness. the brain naturally works and reacts to all these motions and variables and stimuli entering through our eyes, ears, mouth, nose, smell, all that. And the brain just keeps rolling. It's a machine. And it isn't always us. We can identify that we can change, and that the emotion we're feeling, that doesn't define who we are. And so looking through rain, recognize, acknowledge, investigate, and non-identification. Now those are the tips for when that fire is already lit and you need to put it out. So now let me talk about the preventive. So the preventive type of mindfulness, and so there's a lot of apps out there. There's a federal app that's free, you can download it. I'm going to show up here on the screen a bunch of apps that I have that help. And so what this does, these are apps where it forces you to be mindful. And so what it does is there's different types. There's like full body mindfulness, and that's where you relax, and it recommends you put headphones in, get yourself in a little corner so you don't have distractions, and it'll say, okay, focus on the tip of your head, and your entire mind is only on the tip of your head or tip of nose, and you just work your way through your body, or it'll show sounds, and your complete full attention is only on that sound. And you focus, and you're working on your breathing, and it teaches you how to completely, fully execute mindfulness, where your mind and thoughts are only on that one little aspect that it's having you focus on. And then whenever that other thought enters your head, peace out, I'm kicking you out, I'm done, I need to focus on this. And for me, it's extremely difficult because my mind is running 100 miles an hour, and I'll do mindfulness, I'll try to focus on something, and then it's hard because like what pops in my head is, okay, you got to do this for work, or you forgot to do this, or hey, you still got to go fix this on the car or whatever. And they just keep popping in your head, but you got to practice and just push it out. And so for this to work, you need to try it. And you need to schedule in your daily schedule a reminder on your phone that's going to make you do mindfulness. You can look online, go to like Google scholarly articles, and look at the impacts of mindfulness on the brain to really see the change that mindfulness is going to have on your brain. You'll see that, and then when you try it, put it to the test, you'll actually see the benefits. And so the challenge, download these apps. There's mindfulness YouTube videos. Start it. Go on your Google Calendar, whatever calendar you have now, schedule a time to do mindfulness. And it's difficult, so I would say do like 2 to 5 minutes every day. And it was kind of hard when I first started it. Like tell the wife and kids, hey, I'm gonna go do my mindfulness in a corner. Mindfulness, all this stuff, it almost kind of seems like, you ain't tough. Why don't you be tough and deal with your own emotions? You don't need to go do my mindfulness. It was hard to kind of be like, I'm gonna do my mindfulness. It almost kind of felt like I was weak, but it's not. It helps you, it improves you. And I challenge you all to do it. Just do it everyone should always do it. You think you're the most healthiest, mentally stable person in the world, you should still do it, because your cognition will greatly increase. You may be perfect. I mean, you may be real smart. Won't you want to be smarter? Don't you want to be perfectly mentally stable? And I'll tell you this, as I close, I'll tell you why it's important. This daily mindfulness is a preparedness for when that emotional hurricane is going to come running in and knock you down, and you will be stronger. It's like as trees grow, as they grow and they're pushed back and forth by the wind, their roots realize the environment I'm in right now, the winds are strong. I need to kind of start to push my roots out further and deeper. And the more the wind that hits, the more they get deep and they get stronger from these experiences. So when that big tornado comes, they're not going to get uprooted and fall down on someone's house. And that's how mindfulness will work. As you do mindfulness daily, the roots are going to go stronger, they're going to grow deeper, and nothing is going to knock it down. No matter how big that emotional event that's going to push you over the edge, since you've been conducting mindfulness and made it part of your schedule, you will hopefully withstand that massive tornado that could push you over the end. That's all I got.